We are over the moon for this episode, which I don't even know what that means.
You know, I can help you with that.
Welcome to Nonsensicality!
Hey, friends, how you doing?
We're so excited. They can't answer, by the way. They can't answer how they're doing.
At least they didn't wave.
I guess they could answer how they're doing. We will never know.
Maybe
unless they want to reach out to us on the website, camptownmedia.com.
That's good.
But I'm super excited. You know, it's still the new year. Lots of great things going on. Lots of new things happening. And but lots of nonsense as well.
You know, that's what the world needs, is a little more nonsense. So I'm going to help you.
All right, so what are we even talking about today?
Well, you know how there's some things that you say sometimes, like, over the moon?
Yeah.
You're not actually physically going over the moon.
No, when I think of that term, I think of the cow, actually, jumping over the moon. And still not even sure what that meant. But, okay, like, for instance, let's do one most people know, a bird in the hand's worth two in the bush. Like, people hear that phrase a lot. And, we kind of understand what that means, right? It's like better to have a sure thing, less of a sure thing than like even double of that of a risky thing.
Right.
Which some people disagree with. Some people are like, no, I'm going after those two birds. I'm a risk taker.
I've never been a hunter of birds, so I think...
No, I've never...
I like the sure thing.
I like Chick-fil-A, but other than that, yeah.
Yes.
All right, so you've got some phrases.
I have some phrases that are fairly well known that I think we can talk about today.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. And do I get to try to guess what they mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course you do. That's where the nonsense comes in.
Oh, it's going to be epic.
Okay. Have you ever heard the expression barking up the wrong tree?
Barking up the wrong tree. Yeah, that would be, let me guess, a hunting expression where dogs would tree an animal like a squirrel or a raccoon. And if you're barking up the wrong tree, that means you're actually like the squirrel's in another tree and you're just like, you're clueless. You've got it wrong.
Well, that is the history of the phrase, actually. But
yes.
What does it mean? If you're barking up the wrong tree, what are you doing?
You're going after the wrong thing. You're like, the person you're yelling at is not the one to blame, basically.
That's good. It's an error in judgment. Very good. Look at you.
Error in judgment.
Okay, how about the wrong end of the stick?
The wrong end of the stick. Now, this is a plumbing term, and when using a plunger, you do not want to use the wrong end of the stick. Because one end is clean and the other end is never, ever supposed to be touched. Tell me I'm right. Come on.
You're funny.
But it was a good answer, wasn't it?
It was a good answer.
Good answer.
No, it basically means the same thing as barking up the wrong tree.
Ah.
You're focused on the wrong thing.
Is there, did somebody just come up with that wrong end of the stick?
No, I mean, it's similar to the hunting
There's
thing.
no origin
No.
It used to be a sword. Because that would be bad, too, to grab the wrong end of the sword.
Yes. Yes.
Be okay.
All right. How about bite the bullet?
Now, this is a medical war term. And so whenever someone was getting an amputation or a painful surgery and if they didn't have the anesthetics to knock you out, you had to bite on a bullet when you were being painfully processed, when you were being operated on. And so you had to bite a bullet. And so essentially it is you're doing something hard to get a better outcome. Like biting a bullet, you're like you're going through something hard, but you're getting your leg amputated, which would have been better than gangrene, I guess.
Okay. No.
No! Come on! That is perfectly right.
No.
That is not.
Okay, what does it mean to bite the bullet?
To bite the bullet means you're going to do the hard thing.
Okay. All right. It sort of. What it actually means is a person without any sign of fear who acts with courage in the face of adversity. So your surgery example, wrong, but similar. But this is
But
where...
it stems from that, right?
No.
No! It has nothing to do with the surgery, because that's true. I know that historically,
Yes.
Civil War and all that, they've got bullets that have been bitten in half because of the pain there. So there's nothing to do with that.
No, this is what?
I feel so dumb.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Right.
The phrase recollects a dangerous army practice in the 1850s military, so this is U.S. and U.K., where soldiers were equipped with the British Enfield rifle. Now, in order to use the rifle, they had to bite off the head of the cartridge to expose the explosive to spark, so it would unite. So
right.
it's
Unite
potentially
or ignite?
ignite.
There you go.
What did I say?
Unite.
Well, that was nonsense. No, they have to ignite it. So the person who bit the bullet was exposing the explosive, which is, could be potentially fatal.
So could they literally be blowing their own head off if they did that wrong or something? Or?
Yeah. So anyone who did it was considered exceptionally valiant,
exceptionally daring.
To bite the bullet so they could.
I literally was wrong on that one. I had no idea. So biting the bullet means it's actually an act of bravery. I just thought it was kind of a grit and bear it type thing,
No, if they're gonna bite the bullet, they're gonna do a big thing.
They're gonna do it.
Yeah.
They're gonna do it. Bite that bullet.
So it's nonsense and you're learning something.
That's great.
Okay, now this was my favorite one. Okay. I laughed really hard.
Well, this one I heard when you were researching it. You laughed, and I was like, don't tell me. Save it for the podcast.
Okay. To steal someone's thunder.
To steal someone's thunder.
Yes.
That has to do with Greek mythology. Whenever, what's his name? Poseidon? No, not Poseidon. Perseus. One of those guys stole Zeus's lightning bolt and gave it to man. And it has nothing to do with. I know it was fire.
Boy, you
was I even close? Did that have to do with Greek mythology at all?
No.
Zeus? Nothing?
No.
Oh, see, it sounds like that. Because who was it that stole the fire and gave it to man?
Oh, I thought.
Anyway, we know our Greek mythology.
Yeah.
That's not what this is about.
No.
But somebody stole fire from Mount Olympus and gave it to man, and then he had to. He was strapped to a boulder, and a vulture was eating his guts for all eternity.
Well, that seems harsh.
Don't you remember that story?
I do remember. I just don't remember the names of the.
I can't remember.
People involved.
Maybe it started with a D. I don't know. But anyway, I thought maybe stealing your thunder had something to do with your. I know what it means. It means if someone's got some really good news and you swoop in and you have news that kind of overshadows them.
Right. That's what it means.
Yes, but I don't know where it comes from.
Okay, this is very, very interesting. Okay, it actually comes from the failed Enlightenment playwright, and he was also a critic, John Dennis, who he had this debut play that was a massive flop.
Okay.
However, it had one great invention. He invented the theater's creation of thunder. Okay, so the play was terrible, but he had this new element where he introduced thunder.
You're banging on a sheet of metal or something
into his play.
That's what
later,
I do to make thunder. Is I bang on a sheet of sheet metal or something. And
yeah. So later, you have Macbeth.
So a horrible play,
but cool element.
We learn how to make thunder.
Macbeth.
Shakespeare stole his thunder.
Allegedly, stole his invention, and the phrase was born as the indignant John Dennis claimed, "Darn them! They will not let my play run, but they steal my thunder."
Oh.
He didn't say darn, but I just edited it.
You just did make it kid friendly.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Wow.
Macbeth stole his
Literally
thunder.
stole his thunder. That one, okay, I'm going to be honest. That one was way out of left field. Never heard of that before.
Come on, that's cool though, right?
Very cool. Very interesting. And that one, now I know something. I feel so much smarter. My brain, my hat's a little tighter right now.
It just grew.
Because my brain grew. Wow.
Very good.
Any more? We got any more of these?
Oh, I've got it. All right. Matt is a hatter. You know this one.
I know this one because they use mercury to help line the hats or to form the hats. And so the hatters would be wearing the hats a lot, and mercury caused dementia and brain problems.
Okay. Red herring.
Red herring is from the pup named Scooby-Doo. He was a kid that Freddy always blamed for what was wrong. And that's true, though. I know that. That was in. You remember that. And yet little Freddy always blamed Red Herring, and that was the kid's name, and he was kind of like this bully-looking.
Yes.
And there was
he had red hair.
And there was one time he actually did do it, and Freddy was right. But, yeah. So there you go, Red Herring. I know this one. You're welcome.
Pup named Scooby-Doo. No, the red herring comes from, it's when they used to train young hunting dogs to follow scents.
Uh-huh.
And so they would smoke and use a herring.
Like the fish.
Yes.
Yeah, smoked herring. Okay.
To, drag along the ground and help them
catch a scent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they'd also use it to kind of do a false scent to see if they would follow the correct one.
The red herring was like the false scent that, okay. That one was no. I know. I knew it had. I obviously I thought it had to do with a fish. I thought maybe it was like a fisherman's tale, like there's kind of a Moby Dick type thing. Catch that red herring, and they're like it doesn't exist, and you're like, no, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
because it's a false lead. Okay, so it has to do with training scent hounds.
Yes.
Very cool.
All right. How about to butter someone up? What does it mean?
To butter someone up, well, like if you butter something up, that means like say you got a ring stuck on your finger, and to get it off, you have to butter your finger up, and then it comes right off. And so when you're buttering someone up, it makes whatever you're about to do to them a little more easy, a little more palatable. It's like you're buttering them up because you're about to do something not so great to them.
So
like
before
yanking
I
a
punch
ring
you,
off.
So before I punch you in the face, I'm going to give you a bunch of compliments.
Yeah, you're like, you're so good looking. Pow.
So it hurts less when the punch goes.
Something like that. I don't know, but I think it has something to do with like lubrication and getting something, making it easier to get something off. Like my mind goes to a ring because I had a brother-in-law got a ring and it was stuck on his finger, and that was what they did. They went and got butter. It didn't work. They still had to cut the ring off.
Oh my.
Better than cutting the finger off.
That's much better.
Yeah. But anyway, so am I right?
No, that's nonsense.
Does it have to do with turkeys?
You do butter turkeys, but that's also nonsense in this context.
Does that have to do with food?
No, sorta.
I mean, it has butter. That's food.
Sorta. Do you just want me to tell you?
I guess.
Okay, to butter someone up means that you play them lots of compliments. You show them flattery.
Right.
Right? So
right,
you
right,
got
right.
that part.
Yeah.
But the origin is it was a customary religious act in ancient India. And the devout would throw butterballs at the statues of their gods to seek favor and forgiveness.
That one, I had no clue.
So I can't imagine what it would look like or even smell like on a hot day, but I would like favor, I'm going to throw butter at this statue.
So you got like maybe like a wooden or a stone statue or something, and they would throw butter at it, and then the hot sun would bake that and
I mean, surely it would smell interesting, but
yeah,
so they would throw butter to gain favor from their deity
butter.
statues.
I wonder why that is. It has something to do with the sacred cows or anything like that?
I don't know.
Did you look up the term sacred cows? Did you find that the meaning of that term?
No, but I mean, in India, cows are
It's
sacred.
an Indian thing?
So, I mean, no, I
didn't know if
look
it was
up.
an Indian thing or the Israelites' golden calf thing. Or
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so that's cool. Well, very,
right.
very cool. You got another one?
I have two more.
All right, well, let's hear them.
I have two more.
All right, great.
All right, here you go. Cat got your tongue.
This one is I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
It means you can't talk. You're speechless.
Okay.
And that I got it.
I'm ready.
This one, this is based on scientific / wives' tales type thing.
Oh, so it's nonsense.
No, it's real. It's
Okay.
legit. So, like with babies. Okay, when a baby is born, they say don't let the cat near it because the baby will sit on the cat will sit on the baby's chest and suffocate the baby, making it breathless. And so the cat's got your tongue, meaning it's kind of like a reference to a baby that has a cat sitting on its chest and it can't breathe or talk. Am I anywhere near it?
No. Cats are mentioned in the cat got your tongue, but that's about as close as you got.
So it has to do with cats.
Well, sort of. Okay, so the English Navy used to use a whip called the cat o' nine tails.
Yes.
You've heard of that, right?
Yes.
And they would flog people with that.
Very brutal.
Yes.
Yes.
And the pain was so severe that it would cause the victim to remain quiet for some time. So the cat...
Because they were breathless. They were not
Yes.
able to talk. They were in such pain.
Now, another possible source would be from ancient Egypt, where liars and blasphemers would have their tongues cut off, and the tongues would be thrown to the cats as a treat, which is disgusting.
I like that one better. I kind of like that one better. Goes back to Egypt.
Don't tell a lie in Egypt, or the cat will
or
have
the
your
cat
tongue.
will
Literally
have your tongue.
have your tongue.
Okay.
So
That's awesome. So we got one more.
one more.
This is it.
This is it. This is
All
the
right.
most disgusting one.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Okay, well, the term is if there's something wrong with a scenario or a situation, and the idea is just to scrap the whole thing instead of just getting rid of the bad thing in the scenario. So,
That's good.
You don't want to
Throw the
baby out with the bathwater. And
Right.
so, obviously, the term would have been involving whenever, a baby gets a bath. Don't throw the baby out with that bathwater. And that's kind of just, unless there's something else to the origin of it.
You're dancing all around it.
So back in the day, before plumbing was invented, people would throw their discarded water out into the street.
Correct.
Even their bedpans, which is disgusting.
Terrible.
Which is why you always let the lady walk closer to the building so that the man would get the fallout. Did you not hear that?
I did know that.
Yeah, and so that was why.
Very polite.
I don't know if there's a term that originated from that, but that is a historical fact that the man would make the woman, or have the woman, stand closer to the building, so when they were throwing the bedpans out, the man would get the happy shower.
Happy shower.
Nastiness. Okay,
so don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You're right. Don't get rid of valuable things with unnecessary things.
Right.
But it comes from the 1500s, where people only bathed one time a year.
One time a year.
Yeah.
Wow, and so if you're bathing your baby, they're going to get lost in all that muck.
Da-dun, da-dun.
And you're not going to see the baby.
Because the adult males would go first.
Yeah.
Then the females, leaving the children and babies to go last, which is disgusting
Nasty
to think
water.
about.
They're probably better off not even having the bath than basically getting caked in mom and dad's filth, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And so I don't know why they would not change the water after each bath.
I don't know why they would not think, I know I have 2 kids and only one of them came out of the bathtub. Well, let's just throw this bath water out.
But they had to be very mindful because by that time the water was very dark.
And Junior might succumb to the water and not come back up, and you might lose him.
Make sure that when they toss that out.
I'm sorry, but when you think about it historically, you always think it'd be so fun to go back and visit those things. But it was all those things you want to visit was before deodorant existed.
Uh-huh.
And when people bathed once a year, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't. The smells would probably overwhelm most average Americans. They'd be like, no, I can't live back there. I can't even visit. That's interesting.
Yeah. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, that's actually a literal, that's funny. People actually could have thrown the baby out.
You would just think, I know I have 3 kids. Only 2 of them are not in the tub anymore. There's got to be one in there. Let's do another sweep of the tub real quick.
I can't even imagine the water that black that you could not see the child in the bathwater.
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking. Surely there's more water. You can just. I'll wait, and we can refill the tub.
I'll catch it on the next year.
I'll go down to the lake and take a dip in that. It's bound to be cleaner.
I'm pretty clean this year. I'll catch the bath next year.
Oh my goodness!
I just don't understand the once a year.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's.
Well, it's just our mindset. They're just, even today there's things we see other cultures do that we just don't get, and we're like, I can't believe. And then some people are like, why are they taking so many baths? They're not even dirty. Why are they taking a bath?
I know.
To us, about us.
Because
there are sometimes I'm just like, do I really need a shower today? And the answer is often no. And I just go the day and throw an extra layer of deodorant on.
And there's your nonsense. Your daily dose of nonsense.
We know you know who you are, listener. If you've done that, you're in good company, because I've done that. I'm not gonna lie. I have not showered today.
A great
yet,
number
but it's still early. I will shower in a little bit.
Of teenage boys that would consider a chlorinated pool a shower.
Oh yeah. I have a friend that would go for runs, and then he would jump in a pool, and then that would be his bathing for the day. Yeah. That thing is chlorine's probably gonna do more than any soap will anyway. Yeah. So I would call it a bath. I would call it getting in a stream a bath.
There you go.
Think about this. Is one thing I always think is funny. Is and it's only been in the last 50 or 60 years that it's been even a big deal. But the idea of soaps and shampoos and all these cleaning products, lotions and potions and all that, really only over the last 60, 70 maybe years, because of advertising more than a need, as these soap companies want to make more money and sell more soap, they've invented the need that you smell bad and people won't like you. And so now it's like, well, we got to constantly be bathing. And actually, sometimes the more you bathe, if like you take more than one shower a day and you're using soap both times, you're actually like hurting your skin by doing that. Just a little public service announcement. You could actually damage your skin by using that much soap in one day because soap dries it out.
This is an incredibly
I care about our listeners. They need to hear this.
This is beneficial.
This is why I only bathe once a week because I want to keep my natural oil. No, okay. Don't throw that baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, we don't have babies, but watch out for any other creatures.
No, but I don't use tons of soap whenever I bathe, and I definitely don't bathe more than once a day because that could ruin your skin. And I have nice glowy skin. Very soft, very supple. My skin, it's almost like a baby's tushy, except because I got beard hair growing out of it. That'd be a weird baby's tushy.
Just don't throw it out with the bathwater.
Oh, is that it? Is that all the time we've got today?
That is all the nonsense I've brought to the table.
That's great. We better quit it while we're ahead. Well, what about that one? Quit while you're ahead.
Well, it means,
That's a pretty simple one.
Yeah.
What about I better quit while I'm ahead, or you're going to be giving me the cold shoulder? What does that have to do?
Oh, now I did look up cold shoulder.
I know the cold shoulder one.
Do you know the history of it?
Yes. All right, I want to do this one. This is mine.
Okay,
you can tell me if I'm right. Because to give the cold shoulder, it could be termed as like, someone turning their shoulder to you, and they're like, I'm turning. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with people you didn't like that came to your party. And so, and I don't remember what century it was, but it was probably the same century where they only bathed once a year. But they would, if they had a party and people would show up that they don't like, they would give them the cold pork shoulder. And so it was like a cold piece of meat. It was like very not great meat. And so they would give that cut of meat to the person they didn't like, kind of as a snub to them, as a way of saying, I didn't invite you, or I didn't want you to come, but I had to invite you. And this is what you're getting to eat, is the cold pork shoulder. Or it might have been lamb shoulder, but I thought it was pork. Am I right?
Close.
Oh, come on.
Close. It wasn't necessarily done at a party, but it would be as a signal for guests that it was time for them to leave. Is when the host would serve the cold shoulder meat. It was okay.
See, I always heard it was a snub.
Is done.
It was kind of you gave it to the person you didn't like, so that's why, because it kind of makes more sense that way, because it's like how you treat people you don't like.
Yeah.
But you read that it was just the party's over, so here's your cold.
Yes, I'm
shoulder.
done. I'm done being hospitable.
The food has gotten cold,
and
it's time for you to get out.
Yes, I
need to go to bed.
I'm done with you.
So in your case, like 8:30 in the evening.
Perhaps.
Sorry, we were in bed last night at like 8:30, I think.
I was
reading,
tired.
We were reading, but it was like, the sun's down. That's what winter does to me, though. I so look forward to summer. And I heard Illinois, this is fun little news, Illinois is getting rid of daylight savings. Or they're basically permanently adopting it, whatever it is, to where it's daylight longer. So they're getting, and so when you cross into Missouri, from Missouri to Illinois, you may have a time change now. Depending on the time of the year. I just read a little blurb of an article about it. I was like, that's so cool. Missouri just needs to adopt it too. And get rid of the whole daylight savings.
I don't like daylight savings.
Where it's 5 o'clock and it's dark out. Not a fan.
No, that's nonsense.
That is nonsense. Well, I think that's all the time we have for this nonsense. And thank you so much for listening. And real quick, if you're enjoying the podcast, we'd love for you to check out our website, camptownmedia.com. And we'd love for you to sponsor the podcast through Patreon. You can become a patron. And if you're a patron, you get a few more added benefits to that. And so like a shout out over the air and bonus episodes. And you get to download the graphics from our podcast, things like that. If you're interested, we'd love it. We don't want to break your bank, but some of the monthly patrons are cheaper than a cup of coffee for one day. So if you're interested, and if you want to help us, keep this thing going, because we have so much fun hanging out with you guys every week and bringing some fun, enlightenment, and nonsense into your world.
Yes.
And so if you're interested, you can go to camptownmedia.com and check out our Patreon link and become a patron. That'd be awesome. That would be so great. And we're so thankful that you are a part of our world. And we can't wait to talk to you next week and bring some more fun and nonsense to you.
That's right. Bye.
Are you going to wave at the
I'm not. I was so aware.
Were you intentional about not waving at the microphone?
My hands were like on my lap.
You looked very casual too. You made it look like you really weren't gonna wave at the
I
microphone.
thought I
this
looked
time.
cool.
You looked cool.
It felt cool.
Yeah, you're pretty hip. I was over the moon for that.
Oh! That means you're exceedingly happy.
That's true. Now it's time to bite the bullet and end this thing.
There it is.